Hi guys, welcome to today's video. So I am so excited for this video, like I'm over the moon. So I asked a few of my favorite booktubers to recommend me a book to read, and so they've chosen the books I'm reading for a week and in this vlog, and I'm so excited. There's so many good books I've been really wanting to read that I'm going to be reading in this video, and I'm just like over the moon that these booktubers like replied to me and recommended me a book so I could make this video. Like, that makes me so happy. I spend like 90% of my time on booktube. I probably spend like 30 hours a week on YouTube. It's probably more than that actually, but we don't need to get into like the details anyways. So the first booktuber I messaged was Katie is Reading. I love her videos so much. I devour them, I eat them up, I cherish them. This is getting a bit weird. I really like her videos and I really like her, so I asked her to recommend me a book, and she recommended Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. I'm so excited to get into this book. I've heard so many good things, and when I saw her reading it in one of her vlogs, I added it to my TBR straight away. I don't know a lot about this book. I think it's a fantasy romance. And then the female main character, Fedora, I think she's cursed, and so she only has half a soul. And so I think she can't feel some things. I'm very interested and I really want to get into this book. It's also quite short for a fantasy. It's just under 300 pages, and I think there's also a second book. But yeah, I'm so excited. I'm so happy she recommended this book because I had been wanting to read it. I'm so happy and I'm so excited. Like, I'm so excited for this video. Can you tell? Can you tell how excited I am? I'm really excited. So yeah, this is the first book we're going to be reading. Let's get into it. Hi guys, so I've made some progress in Half a Soul. I'm currently on page 83. I'm really liking it so far. It's reminding me a little of Howl's Moving Castle, which I don't know how I feel about that because I'm not a big fan of when books feel like other books, because I like all books to be their own book and I don't want to be like comparing them, if you know what I mean. But it's not the same book, it just reminds me a bit. So basically, Theodora, who goes by Dora, she was cursed by a fairy when she was young, and the fairy claimed that her mother promised him her firstborn child. And Dora's mother and father are both dead, so she's living with her auntie and her cousin Vanessa. And so the fairy tries to take her soul, but then Vanessa intervenes and attacks him with this pair of scissors, and so he only manages to take half of her soul. And so she doesn't really feel things, but she feels some distant things. Like, she doesn't feel happiness or love, but when she's with Vanessa, she says she feels some sort of like peace, and she knows sometimes when she's supposed to be scared or stuff like that. Like, she feels little things distantly, but she acts very odd. She says what comes to mind. And so now I think she's 19, almost 20, and this is set in like the Victorian era, Regency era sort of thing. And so she's supposed to be like married off looking for a husband, but that's not going to happen because people think she's odd. And so now Vanessa is 18. Her mom wants her to start looking for a man to marry, but Vanessa doesn't want to, only if she can take Dora with her because she doesn't want to leave her. And there's a magician called Lord Sorcerer, but his actual name is Elias. He does like magic, but he's not a fairy. So I don't really know how that works, but he has agreed to help Dora undo her curse. And so that's how far I've gotten into the book. And I'm pretty sure Elias is the love interest. But I really like his character. He does remind me a bit of Hal, which I really loved. Howl's Moving Castle, the movie. The book though, I didn't like as much. And this red mark. I find that when I read like historical romance books, like I read The Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels, and I always feel like distant from them. Like I feel like I can't really connect to the characters, and I don't know why, but I never like them as much as like modern day like fantasy romances. But this one I am liking more, and I'm loving Dora's character. She's so funny and she's so cute. I love her so much. And so far, like, I am liking this more than The Wisteria Society and the Howl's Moving Castle book. So that's promising. I'm gonna read some more today. I've been reading it quite quickly. And yeah, that's all my updates. Hi guys, I have some really good reading updates, but first please ignore my hair. I was supposed to wash it today, but I was too lazy, so I just like put heaps of dry shampoo in it and it looks really bad. Like it didn't look this bad in the mirror, but now like I look horrific, but please pretend I don't. Thank you. Half a soul. So I'm now on page 172 and I am loving this book so much. It is so good. Dora is like everything. I love her. Like I adore her so much. She is very likely one of my new favorite characters. I love her. Like everything she says and does and the way she thinks and like everything, I'm obsessed with. I love her so much. It might be a bit soon because I've only known her for 170 pages, but I definitely do love her. Also, I'm loving the romance in this book. It's not like the main plot of the book. I feel like half of it is focused on the romance, whereas the other half is focused on Dora's curse and other things going on in the world. The romance is so good. The moments they have together aren't even like they're like making out or something. It's just really, really sweet things, and their conversations and everything. I am over the moon. I am loving this book so much. Every moment they have together is so sweet and I'm loving it so much. I'm really happy. I'm loving this book. All of the characters are so well written. Dora's character, so well written, all of them, and I'm pretty sure this is Olivia Atwater's debut novel. I could be wrong, but I think it is. And this is an amazing debut novel. This is so good. The characters, phenomenal, and they're not all like perfect. They're definitely flawed. I was thinking about what it was about Howl's Moving Castle and Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels, what it was about them that I didn't love, because I definitely like them but I didn't love them. I was trying to figure out what it was, and I realized it's the time period that I don't really like. I like it but I don't love it. It's like the 1800s. Is that the right time? I don't know, to be honest. I really don't know, but I feel like you understand what I mean. This book is also set in that time, but I loved the book anyways, and I don't know, I feel like I'm not articulating my thoughts very well. This is definitely a book I think I'll need to think about a lot, like after I finished it, and all the different meanings in the book. Does that make sense? Like the messages in the book and just the writing in general. There's so many good lines. This is such a precious book. I love it. I have about like 60 pages left, I think, and I will probably finish it today. And then we'll get on to the next book, which I'm also so excited for. So yeah, those are all my updates. I am over the moon. I am so happy that I'm really liking this book, and yeah. Oh, hi guys. I've been sleeping like most of today. So it's now the afternoon and I've finally like gotten ready so I can update you guys on my reading. And I look a bit like a drowned rat right now, but oh well, it doesn't matter. Half a Soul. I finished Half a Soul. It was really good. I really enjoyed this book. The part I liked the most while I was reading it was the characters, whereas the plot wasn't as interesting. But then when I got closer to the end of the book, I feel like the plot really picked up and it got really good. And so I loved that and I really enjoyed this book, and like I was smiling so much. I really enjoyed this story, and so I rated it a 4.75. The reason it's not a 5 is just because I wish we got more of Dora and Elias, because it kind of ends with like a happily ever after. I won't say like a lot about how it ends, but it's just like a happily ever after thing. And then the epilogue is kind of like a summary of the rest of their lives, like a really condensed, like brief summary. And I was under the assumption that the next books in the series also followed Dora and Elias, and so when I realized they don't, they're set in the same world but follow different characters, I was really disappointed because I thought I was going to see more of them and actually see them together and stuff, but we don't get that. So that's really the only reason I've rated it a 4.75 and not a 5. But yeah, I really enjoyed this story and I'm really happy. I liked it. I don't know, it was such a sweet and good story. I don't know. I don't really know how to describe it, but I had a really good time. I'm just so distracted about how I look right now. Like, I really look like a rat, but anyways. And so then now we're going on to the next book of this video. The next person I messaged was Alexa Raye. And so I messaged her, but she didn't see it, which like I assumed she probably wouldn't. And then she posted on Instagram, so I commented on her Instagram and asked if she could pick a book for me. And she picked Divine Rivals. I'm so happy she did. I have been really wanting to read this book. So many people I know have said so many good things, and actually funnily enough, Katie's Reading has also rated this book 5 stars, and another booktuber later on in this video also rated this book 5 stars. So this was a very highly loved book. And my friend Cans, which you should follow her Instagram, she also loves this book, and so I was telling her I was starting it. We're both so excited. I actually started this book yesterday. When I finished Half a Soul, it was like the afternoon, evening, and I usually don't start new books around that time because I'm really bad at reading at night, and so especially starting a new book at night, I'm not great at it, so I usually don't. But I was watching a lot of reading vlogs and I really felt like reading, so I was like, you know what, I'll pick up Divine Rivals and I'll read maybe like 30 pages at most, just get into it a little bit. And then I got to page 47. I could not put this book down. I was so hooked. I had to really restrain myself to stop myself from continuing to read, because I was like, I need to like talk about the book, introduce the book before I just read a bunch of it. So yeah, I am loving this book so far. I'm really liking it. It's just hooked me. Like I said, I couldn't stop reading. The whole time I was trying to sleep, I just kept thinking about the book and how I wanted to keep on reading it. But I'll explain a little bit about the plot. This is very different from the other fantasies I've read. So this follows Iris and Roman. The world they live in used to be gods that lived there, but then the humans took over and destroyed all of them. There was like 6 left, and they're all buried in different spots around the world. and they were supposed to be like in eternal sleep, never wake up again. But then I think his name is Drakus woke up. So did, what's her name? Her name's Enver. I don't know, I'm definitely not saying his name right. Dakray? I don't know. He declared war on Enver, and so they've both been like enlisting humans to fight for them. And so there's this massive war going on, but it's not affecting really where Iris lives and stuff. But her brother Forrest joined the war and is fighting on Enver's side. Iris lives with her mother, but she doesn't do much. I don't think she works. So Iris is kind of like making the living for her family, making money for her family, and she's working at this journalism place, which I think is like one of the most popular where they live, and her rival there is Roman, and so we get a bit of both of their point of views. And in their like world, some of the magic from the gods and stuff has seeped in to their world, so they have like random magical shops and stuff. And Iris discovered that her wardrobe is magical, so she'd write letters on her typewriter, and when she'd put them under her wardrobe door, they'd disappear. And so she was like hoping that they were somehow getting to her brother. He was somehow receiving all the letters she was writing for him. But then she got a letter back after she sent like heaps of letters saying this isn't Forrest and it's actually Roman. But she doesn't know that, but Roman knows it's Iris that he's talking to. And yeah, I'm really liking it so far. They're like rivals at their job because they both want this promotion job. I can't remember what the job's called, but it's like, I think they'll both get a lot of money. Iris really needs that money. They both really want it, and so they're like very competitive. And there's a lot of like terrible things going on in Iris's life right now. I've heard so many people say that the focus is more on the romance than the fantasy, which I don't mind. I know a lot of people were disappointed because they were like, this is way too much romance, but personally I don't mind if it's like that. There's some stuff going on. Iris is trying to discover what's happening with the gods, why are they fighting, all this stuff. But yeah, I am just really hooked and I'm really excited to keep on reading. Those are my updates. I hope I did a good job of explaining the plot. I don't know if I like this cover. Like, I like Iris, I don't like him. He looks like a little boy. They also kind of look like siblings. Why does he look like that? He looks like a little boy, like, but Iris looks so cute. My voice is leaving me right now. Why is it doing that? I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna stop talking. Those are all my updates, and yeah. Hi guys, I read a few pages of Divine Rivals, but I feel so tired. Like, I can't even focus on what I'm reading. I feel like I'm not reading properly. Unless I feel better tonight, I think I'm just gonna read tomorrow and not read anymore today because I'm so tired and I don't know why. And I want to actually like properly read the book and actually really enjoy it and not like be missing information and stuff because I'm not focusing on the words and I can't read properly. So that's what I'm gonna do. I just thought I'd let you guys know. Hi guys, I do have updates on Divine Rivals. So I'm now on page 173 and I'm still really liking it, but I'm not going to say really much about the plot because I've already explained. I explained like the general idea, but I'm not going to explain more because I don't want to spoil any of the book. But I will say Iris and Roman are not like seeing each other in person anymore, but they're communicating by their messages still, and so most of their communication is through the letters. But Iris still doesn't know that she's talking to Roman, but Roman knows he's talking to Iris. And I'm kind of, I don't know, I want to see Iris and Roman like talk in person because there was so much tension and I loved all of those moments. I really liked those moments when they were together, even when they were bickering and stuff. I really enjoyed those moments. And now it's just like them communicating through letters and there's no like tension or anything because they're both like fond of each other over letters. I'm not a big fan of the trope. I don't know the name of the trope, but when characters communicate by like text or messages and they don't know who each other are, but they know the person in real life, if that makes sense. Maybe they really get along through emails or texts or whatever, but then in person they don't get along and maybe one of the characters knows it's the other person. Did that make sense? But I feel like it's not a popular trope in books, but it has been in quite a few romances. So I don't know, I don't think I'm a fan of that trope. Still, the plot is still really interesting and I really want to see what happens, where this is going to go. There's also a second book which I don't think is released yet, so I'm really intrigued to see what happens, but I'm like not as into it as I was before just because we don't get those interactions anymore. I did want to go to the park today to read, but I'm not feeling well like usual. I feel like I've said that so many times in my past vlogs, but my like physical health is so bad at the moment and I don't know why, but like I'm doing all these tests and stuff to try and figure out what it is, but it's just so aggravating because like I don't know what it is, but I just keep getting sick. And it's also like 33 degrees, and so if I go to the park in this weather I probably will faint. I'm really disappointed because I wanted to go to the park because I haven't gone in so long. I don't talk about this a lot on my channel, but I do struggle with mental health issues, and so like for a while, maybe for like the past few weeks, I haven't been going out very much, and I was like feeling up to going. Yesterday I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go to the park tomorrow and I'm gonna read because I really miss going, and I can't now because I'm sick. Yeah, that's really annoying and it's very frustrating because, well, with my mental health sometimes I stay in bed a lot, I'm not as motivated to do stuff, I don't get much done, stuff like that. But now that my like physical health is bad as well, it's making it worse because I'll have times where I'm doing really well mentally and I'll be going out a lot, I'll be getting a lot done, and then I'll get sick and so I'll be in bed for like a few days, and then it's so hard to get back into like the motion of actually going out and stuff again. It's been so annoying the past few months. I don't know why I spoke about that, but I feel like I never really speak about my mental health on my channel, and I want to talk about it more because like I struggle with mental health issues every day. It's a part of my life and I think it should be definitely more normalized to talk about it. And I know when I watch other YouTubers, when I watch reading vlogs and stuff and they talk about their mental health, it always comforts me and I like hearing that I'm not alone and other people struggle with mental health stuff as well. I like when other people talk about it, so I thought I would try and talk about it more on my channel. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna try to read more today. I haven't read any today, but we're gonna try and read some. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking. Hi guys, I haven't spoken to you guys in quite a few days because I've been quite busy. I've been switching rooms with my sister's room, so now I'm in like a completely different room that's a lot bigger, and I don't have my books here because I have to still put them away. I am filming a video where I'm like decorating my room, reorganizing my books and decorating for Christmas, and that video should already be out, so go watch that if you want. But yeah, I've been busy with room stuff. It was like a big hassle, but anyways, now most of it is done. I just need to decorate and put stuff away and all that stuff. But I do have quite a few reading updates. So I did finish Divine Rivals. So I have a lot of thoughts. It took me quite a while to get through the rest of this book, which I was surprised about because I was reading it quite quickly when I got into it, but I kind of lost interest. I think the main thing about the book I wasn't a fan of was just the setting. A lot of this book takes place during the war that's going on, and the characters are like in danger most of the time. There's always like this impending danger, this fear, stress, like they could die any second basically. And I don't like that at all. Like that really stresses me out whenever I read other fantasy books and there's like a fight scene or there's like a war that happens during the book. It's not like the entire book, but there is like a few chapters where it happens. I hate those parts so much. It takes me forever to read them as well because like firstly it stresses me out so much that it's just like whenever those scenes happen, I put down the book so many times. It takes me forever to get through them. And also because there's so much going on, I feel like it takes me so long to understand what's going on or the wording they're using, like what's actually happening. Like it takes a long time. So I feel like that part of the book I didn't really enjoy. That was a big factor as to why I didn't love this book. Also, with what's going on in the world right now, it was even more upsetting to read about, since the war and stuff that's happening in this book is a lot like war in the real world. Like there's soldiers, there's trenches, like it's very close to the real world. Yeah, so that it wasn't enjoyable for me to read. And then the romance, which was a big part of it, I did really like, but I also didn't love it. I don't know exactly what it was, I just didn't love the romance. But like I said, I really liked it, I wasn't in love with it. Also, I feel like there wasn't really a lot of magic in this book. Like it's very loosely a fantasy book, to be honest. Like there are the gods and stuff, but you don't really see a lot about them. You hear stories about them, then there's like the magical typewriter, but that's really it. There was some stuff introduced at the end of the book, so maybe in the next book there might be more magic, I don't know. So I didn't love this book. I gave it a 4.25. I feel like it's better than a 4, but not as good as a 4.5. That's what I gave it. I will probably read the next one, unless I'll probably wait and see what people say. If people say it's not as good or if it's like better, then I will likely read it. Yeah, I did really like the two main characters and other characters in the book. I really did like, but it wasn't for me. It was too upsetting and stressful and not enough magic. And then moving on to the next booktuber who recommended me a book, Leora Aileen. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. I'm sorry if it's not, but I messaged her and I asked her to recommend me a book, and she asked to see like my TBR so she could pick from it, and she chose The XX by Erin Sterling, which I am so happy about because I have been wanting to read this book for so long. I have had this book for like almost a year now. I bought it last year on my birthday, so it's almost a year since I've had this book, and I've just wanted to read it for so long. This is one of the first books I saw when I got back into books and that I added to my TBR. And so I'm so happy I have the chance to read it now. I mean, I've always had the chance to read it, I just haven't picked it up, so I don't know what I'm going on about. I did start this book. I started it yesterday, I think, and I'm on page 132. This has been a really fast read so far. This is a witchy romance. So basically the female main character, Vivian, she was dating Reese when she was 19, I think, and then they broke up. And so her family practices magic. They were born as witches, so they practice magic. They have the ability to do magic. And her cousin were like, why don't we curse him, while they were drunk. And they're like, yeah, okay, let's curse him. Like, it was kind of a joke. It wasn't meant to be serious. They didn't actually mean to curse him. But 9 years later, he comes back to the town where Vivian lives, and they realize that he's having really bad luck, and they're like, we actually did curse him. So they're all working together to try and figure out how to undo the curse. And Vivian and Reese are working like really closely together, and there's still like a lot of feelings that are coming to the surface and stuff like that, and I'm really enjoying it. We also get dual point of view, so we also get Reese's point of view, which I like. It isn't amazing. I don't know, I think I expected a bit more from this book, but also I didn't, because I was looking at my friends on Goodreads, their reviews, and there was a lot of like 3 stars or 3.5. So I was like, okay, this is gonna be like a fun read, nothing amazing, but this is a book I've been wanting to read for so long, so I did have like quite high expectations. But I am really enjoying it, and I've been reading it so fast. I'm waiting for more of the romance to kick in, because I feel like that will kind of tell whether I really like the book or not. But it has been fun. There's been like a lot of like magic mishaps going on because of the curse, which has also been fun. But yeah, I feel like overall it's just a fun cozy read, and so I'm likely gonna probably finish this today. I mean, maybe. I don't feel well like usual, but those are all my updates. I'm going to keep reading. That's all. Hi guys, so I finished the XX last night, and I'm gonna give it a 3 stars. I just didn't love it. I was very bored. It took me a while to get through it. I think if I read this book maybe the end of last year or the start of this year, I would have liked it more, because back then I'd read less romance books. But since I've read so many romance books, this was just very average to me. Yeah, I feel like there's not much more to say. I don't know if I'll read the second one. The second one interests me because the male main character in that book is featured in this book, and I want to see a romance with his character because he's very like standoffish, grumpy, but I don't know if I'll like it since I didn't really like this book, so I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. So we are starting the last book of this video. The last booktuber I messaged was Jaimes' Library. She also asked to see my TBR, and she chose Malibu Rising. I'm so excited to read this book. I'm also very nervous. This is a 5-star prediction book for me. I've read 2 other Taylor Jenkins Reid books and I loved them both so much. I also cried while reading them. So I hope that doesn't happen this time because I hate crying because of books, even though it means it's a really good book. I hate it. Anyways, I think it's all set during one night at a party, Nina Reeva's party. If you've read any other Taylor Jenkins Reid books, I'm pretty sure Mick Reeva is mentioned. Maybe not all of them, but her most popular ones, I think. And so there's always crossovers with characters in a book, but this now follows Nina Reeva's party, who is Mick Reeva's wife, I think. Maybe not. Or maybe she's his daughter. But I think a lot happens and I'm interested to see what this is about because I don't really know anything else about the plot. Like, I don't. So, but Taylor Jenkins Reid's books always have me hooked. But I'm not sure if it's going to be a slow read for me or a fast read because with literary fiction, I always read them slowly. But I'm on like a time crunch at the moment and I want to finish this book by like tomorrow night. So I'm hoping I'll read it fast. I think I've heard people say they read it in one sitting. So hopefully that means it's fast, but like everyone's different. And I've never read a book in one sitting. So we'll see. But I'm excited. I'm also really nervous. That's why I haven't started it yet. And it's like 2 p.m. I should have started it already, but I get so nervous for some reason. I don't know. Especially with literary fiction. This is a 5-star prediction, so it makes it even scarier. And yeah, I feel like I've been babbling. Anyways, is that all I was gonna say? Yeah, this is the last book of the video and I'm gonna start it soon, and that's all. Guys, this is so unrelated to Malibu Rising, but I just opened an Amazon package because, why is this crooked? I was expecting a Christmas book that I'd ordered and that's not what was in the package. It was actually a book Chloe Reads sent me from my wish list for my birthday that's coming up. And she wrote the sweetest message and oh my god. It's so sweet, like I'm gonna cry. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much, Chloe, if you're watching this. I'm gonna read what she said because it's literally the sweetest thing ever. Happy birthday, Maddie. I'm so glad I found your account and your YouTube channel as they provide me with so much joy. May you experience all the treasures life has to offer. That is so cute. Like, oh my god. That's so sweet. I don't deserve this. Thank you so much, Chloe. If you're watching, like, I already thanked you privately, but like, I cannot express my gratitude. Does that even make sense? I don't know. I can't even express how grateful I am. Thank you so much. I'm so weird. Why am I acting like this? I don't know, but I'm so thankful. I think it's about like a swimmer that thinks they're a mermaid, and it's so pretty as well. And I have a shell collection up here. Let me quickly show you guys. It's not a very like organized collection. It's just like a bunch of shells, but I'm gonna put the book with the shells because I think they'll just suit the vibe and it just goes, you know. I'm not even making sense anymore, but thank you. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that. That's all. Okay, thank you. Bye. Ew. Why do all of the men in Taylor Jenkins Reid, that's such a mouthful, Taylor Jenkins Reid's books, why do they all cheat? Why do they do it every time? They can never get enough. They're always cheating. Like, her books are the only books where I will read about cheating. Disgusting. I'm so disgusted by this man. So I'm on page 122. We're following, okay, in the present day during the party, we're following the point of view of the 4 Reeva siblings. So Nina Reeva, Jay Reeva, Hud Reeva, Kit Reeva, and they're the children of Mick Reeva and June Reeva. And so we also get flashbacks to June and Mick and their life during the story. We see their relationship, the good and bad stuff that happened. Mick Reeva is a singer, and so we see him becoming famous and stuff. Like in Taylor Jenkins Reid's other books, there's like a big I can't talk. There's a big focus on like being famous and stuff. And there's also a big focus on surfing. So they live in Malibu. All 4 kids surf. Jay does it professionally. Hud surfs, but he like does mainly photography for Jay. Kit's the youngest. She's 20, and she's just doing whatever. And then Nina is the oldest. I relate to Nina's character a lot. She looked after her siblings a lot, and just the dynamic with her and her siblings is very relatable. I am the oldest sibling with my 3 other siblings. Yeah, this book isn't as, well, how do I say this? It doesn't hook me as much as the other books I've read by Taylor, but that doesn't mean it's bad. I am still really liking it. I don't know if it'll be a 5-star read, but I'm really enjoying the story. And like, I don't mind that I'm not like really hooked. I'm enjoying it, and I really like the beach setting because living in Australia, summer here is like the best time. I love going to the beach, and I love all the descriptions of the beach and living in Malibu and all that stuff. I really like that part of the book. So yeah, we haven't gotten to the actual party yet. I think it's like midday now. I am scared because I know some bad things are gonna happen. And I'm like preparing myself, but like I'm really attached to all the siblings. I don't know. I don't want bad things to happen, but I know it's gonna happen. I know it is. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. And it's a nice read. I don't know what else to say. I really like the setting. It's set, so present day, it's the 1980s, I think. And then the flashbacks go from, I think they start from the 1930s maybe. They start from the 1950s. I really like that setting in her books, like the famous people, Hollywood. Not exactly Hollywood because they're in Malibu, but like that setting I really like in the like 1950s to 80s or even earlier. I don't think I've read any other books in that time period. So yeah, and we're getting a lot of mentions of other characters in this book, and then quite a few mentions of Carrie Soto, which is her next book that came out, which I really want to read. Mick Reeva, I hate you. I thought maybe he was a good guy, like maybe people just don't like him, like he's annoying, but no. I hate you, Mick, I really do. And all these men in her books cheating all the time. Why do you do this? Like, anyways, that's all. I've talked for way too long, but I'm gonna try and finish this today. I'm about like 30% in maybe. Okay, that's all. Hi guys, so I finished Malibu Rising How do I even like what do I even say about this book? It was incredible. This book, I loved it. I loved it so much. I loved the way Taylor Jenkins Reid writes her characters and her stories and relationships. She does it so well, and so I gave it a 5 stars, if that wasn't obvious. But I love this book so much. It kind of had Shameless vibes loosely, because the older sister looks after her younger siblings and there's like no money, they're hanging on by a thread. Their parents they're a bit iffy, but I still loved June, the mum. Mick, no, do not like him whatsoever. I really liked the story. The way it was told was so interesting. She always tells her stories differently. In Daisy Jones and the Six, it was through interviews. The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, it was through kind of interviews as well, but like stories. And then this one was during one night, but in between you get flashbacks. It was just really good, and so I'm really happy that I picked up this book, because like the feeling of reading a really good book, it's like no other feeling. Like I feel like the world is brighter, I'm happier. I'm so happy to be alive because of this book. I don't know, I'm kind of saying nonsense right now, but I'm gonna wrap up this video. If you were one of the booktubers featured in this video, thank you so much for being a part of this video, for making book content, because when you guys post, it makes my day so much better. And thank you to everyone who watched. If you made it this far into the video, comment a book emoji. And I have all my socials linked down below. I have a book Instagram, a book TikTok, a Goodreads, all of that stuff. I've been trying to post almost every second day of December, so I have lots of content to watch if you guys want to watch it. And yeah, that's all. Thank you for watching. Bye.